Hey guys, good morning. How's everybody doing today? I'm Connie Fuksa with Foot Title Group, where we take care of making sure your home closing process is simple, easy to understand, and we protect your home ownership. Welcome to Coffee with Connie. Thanks so much for taking the time to tune in. So I'm working with a couple that is refinancing their home, and we started talking about fees the other day. So I really wanted to sit down for a second. I'm not going to make this long and drawn out because that will make it too complicated. But I wanted to talk to you for a minute about some fees that you may see at your closing, whether you're buying or refinancing, so you can understand why you're being charged certain things, why these things happen, and what's negotiable and what isn't. Hey there, Angela, how are you? Thanks for tuning in. Good morning, Robbie. How are you today? So let's talk about this for a minute. So let's say you're refinancing your house and you have some fees in the closing that maybe might be confusing, or maybe things that you paid when you purchased the house and you don't understand why you have to pay those again. So let's look at this on a really simple level. But if you're refinancing your house, you have to look at it like you're buying your house from yourself. So if you're buying your house from yourself, you actually are the seller and the buyer. So you're going to have a few of the fees that the seller actually has. And what are those fees actually look like? Well, you have a mortgage on your property that needs to be paid off because you're getting a new mortgage with a lower interest rate, or maybe the same interest rate and you're cashing out, whatever your refinance situation happens to be. But you're actually paying off a mortgage that needs to be removed from the ownership of that property. And so in order to do that, we have to work to get that payoff, and we have to make sure that that loan is released from the property and that release is recorded in the proper place in the land records so it's properly documented. So that's a release processing and preparation and recording fee that you may see if you're refinancing. If you are purchasing, the seller would pay that because it's their property that the loan has to get released. Their loan has to get released from the property. But when you're refinancing, like I said, it's almost sort of like you're buying it from yourself. Some of the other things that you will see that are on the buyer's or borrower side refinancing is usually a closing fee, usually a title abstract or a title search. And that's a cost to pay someone that we have to work with, that we like to work with, that actually searches the land records to make sure that you own the property, that no one else has any ownership interest, that you don't have any liens on the property, that you don't owe somebody some money for something that either you didn't pay or that you took a loan out for, that we need to address. And so we need to see that title search to make sure that no one else has any ownership interest in any different way, whether it's through a mortgage, through a bill that you need to pay, or if someone has a right to cross over that property. So we have to look at those kind of things. And so we have to pay a person that actually works in the land records they don't work for the land records, but they usually go into the land records, do that search, and then provide us that information. Hey, Katrina, how are you? Good morning, John. How are you this morning? Thanks so much for tuning in. So that's the title search fee, and depending on where the property is located and a lot of different nuances about the property, that number can vary. Typically, it's around between $200 and $300. So that's where that number comes from. Let's see some other things you may see. And with Foot Title Group, you do not see this, because with Foot Title Group, we have one fee that includes notary fees, closing fees, document preparation fees, attorney's fees. We have one fee, and so sometimes that can be a little confusing. When we created that, I thought it would be better because it would make it easier to understand, and unfortunately, sometimes I think it's confusing because most other title companies don't do it that way. They actually break down all of the different costs that they charge, and so then when you look at our costs, you say, well, wait a minute, how come these other fees aren't in there? Or you might say, hey, your closing fee is more than such and such. Well, by the time you add all of this stuff back in, it's not. So for us, you're going to see one closing fee. You're going to see the title search. If you're refinancing, you're going to see a release fee. And The only other thing you're going to see is title insurance. Now, you're going to see title insurance if you're buying or refinancing. The difference is when you're buying, you're going to be offered and need to purchase lender's title insurance, and you're going to be offered owner's title insurance. When you're refinancing, you're just going to be purchasing lender's title insurance. And let me tell you why, just for a second so you understand. First of all, title insurance is calculated based on how much you're borrowing or the sales price of the property, whichever is more, and the insurance is a percentage of that. So there's no fixed number to say, okay, you're buying a house, so it's going to cost you $300 for title insurance. No, it's based on what the value of that property is. Just like any other insurance, there's a risk involved in the insurance company, and so they manage that risk by trying to decide if the house is a $500,000 house, then our risk is a whole lot bigger. There could be a whole lot bigger loss if that was the case, and so it's a percentage of the sales price or the loan amount. The reason that there's title insurance on both the loan and the owners is the owner's title insurance totally protects you as the owner of that property. I talk all the time about protecting your home ownership. Title insurance protects you as the owner to make sure that no one else can ever come back and say, hey, you owe me money for this property. I had a loan on it and it wasn't paid off. Or, hey, I have the right to go through your property to get to that road. Or hey, that side of your property where you just put your fence up actually belongs to me. You came over the property line. Or, hey, you bought the wrong piece of property. You were supposed to buy the one next door, and you actually bought the property that's mine. And these things, it may sound a little crazy, but these things happen, and they happen more frequently than you can imagine. So title insurance covers you for those kind of things. It's a one-time fee. There's no additional cost for it. There's no deductible, and it covers you for as long as you own your property. Lender's title insurance totally protects the lender and covers them so that their loan isn't extinguished by one of these kinds of problems, and the lender will not loan you money unless you provide them with lender's title insurance. Now, the reason you have it when you refinance is because you are getting a new loan, and so the new lender requires they be protected and that the title's updated to make sure that that title insurance is protected. So that's why you have lender's title insurance. Again, your owner's title insurance is good for as long as you own that property. So if you refinance once or 100 times, it doesn't matter. Your owner's policy follows you for as long as you own that property. So hopefully that helped you guys answer a little bit of questions. If you want some more information about title insurance or our fees, you can go to our website, www.foottitlegroup.com. Click on the Borrower Buyers tab or the Sellers tab. Under the resources, there is all kinds of information about title insurance. Under the Buyer or Sellers tab, there's also a fee sheet that breaks down our fees. And as always, you can reach out to any of our team members in Maryland or Virginia. They're all listed on our website, and they all know the information on both areas, so they're happy there to help you. And thank you guys so much for taking the time to tune in. Good morning, Chris. Hey, how are you? Hey, Karen, how are you this morning? Thank you guys for taking the time. Hey, Larry, how are you? Hey, guys. Thanks so much for taking your time. I appreciate it. If you have more questions, please, please, please reach out to me and let me know. And if you would hit the share button and share it with anybody that you know, then we can help other people get the same information. So hope you guys have a fantastic day. I love talking to you and helping you with information. I'm Connie Fuksa with Foot Title Group, where we protect your home ownership. And this is Coffee with Connie. I'll talk to you again soon. Have a great day. Bye-bye.